Okay, pilots, let me have your attention. This week on 80s Rewatch, Darren and Simon are buzzing the tower as they strap into the cockpit of one of the biggest blockbusters of the 80s, Top Gun. Yes, we're sending them into the danger zone to find out if Maverick really is the best of the best, whether Goose steals every scene, and why this film turned aviator sunglasses, leather jackets, and motorbikes into the coolest thing on the planet. So grab your suits, crank up the Kenny Loggins soundtrack, and join them as they break down Top Gun scene by scene. With plenty of laughs, nostalgia, and a few high-flying facts, this is 80s Rewatch, and this episode is clear for takeoff. Class dismissed.
The famous volleyball scene.
So for those effects for 1986, that's quite clever, isn't it?
It gets a little bit of respect.
It's when he walks out of the office that a man walks into the coffee. He says, "Not again."
Dinner tonight, 5:30 sharp.
Goose was the only one that didn't throw up.
And this is the real thing. 1,544 miles per hour. Woohoo! Film scenes, the way these are shot are just incredible.
I sang Boom Boom Shake the Room by Will Smith and said, "How do you like it?"
Can I just go back into the toilet, into the ladies?
I feel the need for speed. Shall we take 80s Rewatch into the danger zone?
So Simon, Top Gun, and a request from one of our valued listeners.
Yes, Darren, Top Gun, and this one's been requested by Simon Goff. So hopefully we will do a good review of Top Gun for him, because we know he's a proud serviceman, ex-serviceman should I say. So hopefully this will hit all the right kind of nostalgic notes for him as we talk about it.
Oh, definitely. And not only a proud serviceman, but he did actually, when I spoke to him, he did actually try to get into the Air Force after watching this film. But unfortunately, he hasn't got 20/20 vision and he wears glasses. So he ended up having to be in the army. Not that that's any inferior at all. It's not inferior to anything else. But
Hang on. Let me get this correct. You're telling me that Simon Goff wanted to join the Air Force?
Absolutely, after watching Top Gun.
Have you seen him go 4 rungs up a ladder?
I'm not saying anything. No, I haven't, actually.
He cannot go 2 rungs up a ladder without absolutely quivering. So how's he going to get in an F-15?
Now, I think you're dicing with death a little bit here. Because,
I know. When he's listening, I know he'll be listening to this now, swearing at me. So no offence, Simon, just having a laugh and a joke, that's all. No offence. Yes.
So I did ask him why he chose this film, because it is one of his favourite films. And he's got some fantastic memories to share of the 1980s. Now, he does remember it was a Saturday afternoon and he heard a beep from outside his house of the now forgotten mobile video library. Remember those?
Yes, I remember those. Yeah, we had one.
Yes.
We had one that used to come around. Well, I never used to go to the mobile one. I was always loyal to Christine's.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
But this is, if for anybody who doesn't know what the mobile video library was, it was a van that would turn up on your street and they had lots of videos just to rent, which meant you didn't have to walk the 3 miles journey through the rain to go and get to the video library like I did.
No, they were good things, to be fair, wasn't they? Because like I say, they come round where you lived and you didn't have to go to the VHS. It came to you, sort of thing, didn't it? So that was handy.
And he remembers one particular Saturday and he went out to the van with his dad, and it was his dad that chose Top Gun. While, guess what he was doing? He was choosing sweets off round the side of the van. They also used to sell sweets and pop and crisp. The whole experience.
They did. It was like you say, it was like a little mobile cinema, basically, wasn't it?
I suppose so, yeah.
With all the drinks and the sweets and the films. And they never really had that pesky film on loan triangle in the top corner.
No. Now, he does remember that when he watched it, it was a cold winter's afternoon and his dad was inside and he was stoking the coal fire, because we had coal fires in those days, even though it was still the 80s. And that evening, the whole family sat down to watch what he thought was an absolutely brilliant film. And it was then that it inspired him to want to join the military, especially the Air Force.
That's quite good, isn't it? That a film can inspire you to do something. Like when I used to watch Rocky films, it inspired me to go to the gym for like a week. And then, a week. And then that was it. There was, no more. I'd watch the Rocky films and think, God, I'd like to look like that. too much work for me, that, Darren. Too much work.
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all?
Yes, yes.
So we'd like to thank Simon again for choosing this film. I know it wasn't his main film he wanted to choose, but I went back to when we first started doing podcasts, and he says, "Oh, you'll have to do Top Gun. You'll have to." And we had this massive list, which we still have, of films we love, but we do invite anybody who wants to make any requests whatsoever. And now, Simon, this is yours.
Yes. So here we go, Simon. So I was only joking about the ladder, but I have seen you on a ladder. And
Don't, Simon.
Sorry, I'm poking
you're
the
digging
bear.
a deeper ditch.
I'm poking the bear, so I'll leave that one well alone. So, yes, Simon. So here we go. We're going to take a deep dive look into Top Gun for you.
So, can you remember where you were? Well, can you remember? You probably only watched it the other day. Can you remember where you were? Where you rewatched it? Where did you rewatch it?
Last night, Darren. It was the first time I've ever watched it. So it wasn't a rewatch. It was the first time I've ever sat down and watched Top Gun start to finish. Don't get me wrong. I've seen bits of it. I've seen clips of it. But I've never actually sat and watched it from start to finish. So
Now, just before you explain where you was, can I just ask you a question? Now, a while ago when we first started talking about doing a podcast, I remember you saying you watched a lot of films in bed, on your tablet, next to your wife at night. Is that something you still do? Because every time you rewatch it, you're on the sofa now. She's kicked you out of bed, hasn't she? She's fed up with you.
I'm trying to word this. I know she never listens to this, so I'm fine what I say. But I find it more comforting to watch it on my own, Darren, than the wife kicking me in bed. She's rolling over and moving around. But I tend to be honest with you, I tend to watch more films in bed with my tablet or my iPad in the winter. Because when it's cold and dark outside,
Yes.
I like to go and get under the covers and just be really comfy and warm and cosy and watch a film. But at the minute, with it being that we're still in a heat wave here, aren't we, in the UK?
It's terrible.
It is. So I tend to watch them downstairs now. And I quite like watching them downstairs because I sit there now with my notepad, making little notes and trying to take it in. And I couldn't really lay in bed with the wife with the biscuit of choice. I think if she heard me crunching the biscuits, she'd be crunching her knuckles into the side of my face.
Yeah, I guess.
So I watched it last night. If you're a regular listener, you know this one now. I watched it on the sofa with a cup of coffee, and the biscuit of choice this week, Darren, was Jaffa Cake digestive biscuits.
I've never heard of those, but I'm
Yeah,
interested.
They're new. A milk chocolate digestive in the flavour of a Jaffa Cake. Oh, Darren, they are, in my biscuit terminology, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Wow. And
10
did you
out of
polish
10.
off the packet as usual?
Absolutely. The whole thing went. Not a problem. Go on.
Well, I watched it at my usual place on the sofa, glass in hand, with a mere suggestion that it might turn into a bottle, and totally snack off choiceless. Snack off choiceless because I've got a holiday coming up, and the problem is it's not working. It's not working quick enough. So I might have to go back onto the snack of choices, and to hell with it.
Dare I say, are you trying to get a beach body, Mr. Brown?
No, I'm just trying to get last year's trousers to fit me because I don't want to buy any new ones.
Oh, so no snack of choice this week, just a bottle of wine.
Yes, that's that. Well, yeah, maybe another one after, because I do not want to miss out. You know what I mean? While I'm enjoying myself, and yes, you do get the nibbles, don't you? You want something to eat, but nope. I'm going to be strict, and if it gets any worse, it'll be water. That's all. While I'm watching these films.
Good boy. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear, Darren.
I don't think it'll happen, but I can say it.
No, you can, like me with a rocky body. It's never going to happen, ever.
Yeah, you might have a rocky biscuit. You know, it's compromise.
Oh, yes, I could go with that one. Yes, definitely. So, Top Gun, Darren, released in 1986, and we'll do the top 10, what this went up against. Now, some of these films I've never even heard of. And I thought I got quite a good knowledge of films, but these surprised me when I did the list. So I'll do 10 to 1. Number 10 was The Colour of Money.
Yes,
Tom
that's
Cruise?
Tom Cruise. Yes,
Tom Cruise,
and
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. Yes,
Paul Newman. Number 9 was The Mission.
The what?
The Mission.
Never heard of it.
No, it's not Harrison Ford, is it? No.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
No, it doesn't with me. I can't place that one. And I can't place this one at number 8. Hannah and Her Sister.
Nope. Are you sure you've got the right year here?
I've got the right year. I know the next one. Number 7 was, we'll probably have to do this at some point, The Fly.
Oh, yes, the remake of The Fly.
Yes, it was yes.
Original from the 50s, wasn't it? Both great films.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 6, Blue Velvet. Never seen that either.
Never heard of it, never mind seeing it.
No, neither have I. Number 5 is definitely one we will cover somewhere down the road. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, what a film. Great film. All your favourites, just like a box of chocolates.
And number 4, I'm surprised we've not done this one yet, to be honest. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller, that's a pretty classic, that, isn't it? That's John Hughes, I think.
It is, yes. And at number 3, are we? Yes, number 3, Aliens.
Oh, cracking film. What a cracking film that is.
See, I'm not an Alien fan. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I don't know what it is. I must have watched Alien 10 times because I'm trying to trick my brain to like it. I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't love it. Don't love it. Aliens. The only bit I like about Alien and Aliens is they didn't put Alien 2. It was Aliens. I thought that was quite clever.
Yeah, Aliens. I was introduced to that by my friend who made me watch Predator. My friend Steve from America. He says, "Oh, you've got to watch it. It's fantastic." And I watched it with him. It's great. I like it. I think it's great.
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. I don't know. You can't seem to warm to it for some reason. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I like the Xenomorph. I think that's fantastic. But I don't know. We'll try and cover it and you'll have to try and brainwash me into liking it. Number 2, Platoon. Very good film.
Yes.
Very, very good film, that one, Darren. And at number 1, the film we're covering today for Simon Goff, Top Gun.
Top Gun was number 1. Well, I'm not surprised, really, I suppose.
I'm not. No. And the release dates for Top Gun.
This will be interesting.
Yes, in America, they got this on 16th of May, 1986. And we got it here in the UK, 3rd of October, 1986. So just a few months between it, this one.
Yeah.
The VHS rental for this in the UK was the 9th of October, 1987. So a year it took to come onto VHS.
Wow.
That's quite a long time, isn't it? But back then, I remember them taking a while.
Yeah, no, I don't think any took as long as E.T., but...
No, ridiculous. And to get it on the TV premiere, so the premiere here in the UK on terrestrial TV was Saturday, October the 6th, 1990, and it premiered on ITV.
That's pretty good from 4 years. I know it seems like an eternity now, but back in those days, 4 years from cinema to TV, it's pretty fast.
It is. I should really do, because if it's coming to this point, I would imagine, because in the UK in the late 80s, satellite TV was the big boom, wasn't it? Sky TV.
It was, yes.
So basically, I remember my mum and dad getting it, Sky TV, and I remember it was £10 a month. And for that, you got your Sky Sports and Sky Cinema and all that. So what we give for Sky to be £10 a month now. So I will really have to start looking at this. I thought of this when I sat down I'll have to look at the Sky TV premiere as well.
Yeah, very good.
For these
That's an excellent top 10. And I like it when things surprise me. And there's a few surprises in there that I've never even heard of.
Yeah, you're like me. When I wrote it down, I was like, I've never heard of that at all.
So, Simon, can you remember then where you first... In fact, what am I going on about? This is your first watch, isn't it?
Yeah, this was my first watch, Darren, of the Tom Cruise classic Top Gun.
So the only person who can remember their first watch then is me. Well,
yes.
You
Would you
can
like me to
remember
ask
it.
you the question, Darren? Where did you first watch Top Gun. Bearing in mind, I watched Top Gun. What was the date yesterday? What's the date today?
It was the 23rd yesterday.
I first watched Top Gun on the 21st of July 2026.
Wow.
When did you first watch Top Gun, Darren?
Well, the late 80s, and I was at my friend's house. I had a good seat and the noshables were ready. But this time it was different, because this time my friend had a girlfriend. Yes, and
What?
it was her that picked Top Gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Now,
choice.
his girlfriend was all right. I mean, you had to watch your P's and Q's, but she chose it, yes. And there's only one reason why she chose it: Tom Cruise. And all the way through this film, she would comment on how fit he was, especially in the scene where they play beach volleyball. And I know, if there are any ladies out there listening, I know you'll be shouting at your phone or you're listening to the device saying, well, it's okay for you men to leer and lust over women, so why can't we? And I totally understand that. But believe it or not, we weren't like that. When we got Friday night or Saturday night films, we chose them for action, for adventure, the likes of Rambo, The Goonies, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, them kind of films. There was no leering and lusting at any of the girls. So it was quite off-putting, to be honest, and pretty boring. So I'll be honest with you, I never really enjoyed the film back then. And I was more inclined to tell people it was rubbish because of the way she made me feel, which were totally inferior. Again, I were up against somebody I could never, ever live up to. But then again, I suppose we've been putting women through that for years, haven't we?
Yes, we have, Darren.
So I was quite interested to see exactly how I'd find it now at my age.
How many times have you watched it, Darren?
That I watched it last night, and that was the third time.
Okay.
Because I got that in my head about girls like Tom Cruise. They all liked, and why not? I mean, look at him.
Oh yeah, he was like a poster boy of the 80s, wasn't he?
He was on the football the other day, on the World Cup final.
Yeah, he was.
It doesn't look any different.
Not really, does he? He's still got a good head of hair, and what is he now? He's got to be coming up to 60, hasn't he? He's got to be is he 60? Coming up to 60 in his 60s?
That's even worse, because he still looks as though he's about 30. I look as though I'm about 70.
Behave yourself. 80. But you talk about Tom Cruise there. Do you know the actors that were in contention for the role of Maverick?
Nope.
So they're normally a similar sort of actor. There's normally usual suspect, shall we say, for these roles.
Yes.
So the one they really wanted was Matthew Modine.
Who's Matthew Modine?
I can't even think what he's been in. I know who he is, but I can't really think off the top of my head what he's been in. And the other one was Scott Baio from Happy Days.
Oh, yes.
Chachi.
They look similar. Chachi, yeah.
Chachi, that's it. Sorry, Chachi.
Yeah, they look similar, don't they?
They do, yeah. And John Travolta was in contention.
John Travolta. You know what? I've seen John Travolta in some pretty decent roles. And you wouldn't think from seeing Grease, which he was absolutely amazing in, that he could turn his hand to doing that. But what's the one in Paris? Something in Paris.
Yeah.
Which is great.
The action one where he's got a shaved head.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
really good.
so maybe, yeah.
And the other ones were Tom Hanks.
Oh.
No. John Cusack.
Too sarcastic and yeah.
He's good in, don't get me wrong, he's good in Con Air, I think, John Cusack.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez. No.
Yeah, I could see it.
This next one, no, I don't see this one as much as we like this next actor, Michael J. Fox.
No, absolutely not.
I could see the last one being Maverick, Patrick Swayze.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Swayze doing it. Yeah, so it's the usual band of actors that are always in the contention, isn't it, for these 80s roles? It's the usual suspects, shall we say?
Certainly is.
Yes.
So, Simon, shall we dive into Top Gun?
No, Darren. Shall we take 80s rewatch into the danger zone?
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
So, well done. So the film starts, and it starts with a statement, doesn't it? The first thing you see is a statement. And it said on March the 3rd, 1969, the US Navy established an elite school for the top 1% of its pilots. Its purpose was to teach the lost art of aerial combat, and to ensure that a handful of men who graduated were the best fighter pilots in the world. Today, the Naval calls it Fighter Weapons School, but the flyers call it Top Gun. I've read that.
That was good, that, Darren. I like that. Yeah, very good. But yeah, like I say, it opens with that statement.
And then we see these shots, and these shots are pretty good, aren't they? You know, I have to sit there and think, wow.
Because they had to hire all this equipment, didn't they, off the Navy?
I think yes.
In the end of filming, I think it cost them nearly $2 million for the hire of, obviously, the planes and the plane carrier, the ship. I don't know the proper terminology for it.
The aircraft
ship,
carrier.
The aircraft carrier, that's it. So it cost them nearly $2 million to hire all these.
They've got to have been confident that they were going to get that money back.
Yeah, because this was, I think when they saw it, it was like a newspaper article, wasn't it? That's where the idea came from.
Oh, right, okay.
Someone wrote in a magazine about Top Guns, it was called, and it's basically just touching on this here, flight pilots and all this, that and the other, and they took the idea from that and turned it into a film. It's quite clever. Most things do come from, obviously, don't they, magazines and newspapers, and they turn them
into real life.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. Well, anyway, I did a little bit of research, and the planes that are taking off from that aircraft carrier are Tomcats, and they can reach speeds of 0 to 170 in under 3 seconds, and can climb to a maximum speed of, wait for it, 1,544 miles per hour.
Is that Mach 10, do they call it?
I don't know. Is that a razor?
Thought it was a rapper from America. So like I say, because when they were doing this, they put them in the planes, didn't they? The actors.
Yes, they made them have a go, didn't they?
Yeah, they made them go up in the planes. And I think whoever was driving the plane, I think that's the right terminology. Flying the plane, should I say. Driving, flying, same thing. So they took them up there, and I think they tried to scare them, didn't they? I think all of them threw up while they were up there. And I think, no, there was only one. I think it was Goose was the only one that didn't throw up.
Oh, right, very
Everybody
good.
did. So that's when they came up with the idea then that they couldn't do all the filming while they was up there. That's why when you see them in the planes, they're actually in a made-up plane. But it looks like they're flying, doesn't it? It's quite clever.
It certainly does.
How they do it, yeah.
But we are on board this ship, and we're in the Indian Ocean, aren't we? And
present day.
Yes, and we see Stinger, which straight away you notice it's Strickland from Back to the Future, don't you? But he's kind of playing the same kind of character, and he's in the control room, and he's being told that there are some unknown aircraft in their space, and he wants to know who they've got up there, and he's told Cougar, Merlin, Maverick, and Goose.
Yes, and then we see the plane. No, it's a black fighter plane. Don't know what this plane is. Is it a F-14, an F-5, or an A-4?
I think it is, yes. Yeah.
It's one of those.
In fact, are they two MiGs that arrive?
MiGs, they call MiGs.
MiGs.
I think it's an F-5, isn't it, this? It's a smaller one than what Maverick flies, isn't it?
Yes. I'm sure Simon, if he's listening, well, he will be listening, he'll be shouting at his listening device.
I'm up on the aircraft, so I've kind of wrote down when I heard them mention the planes. But these planes were just made up, wasn't they? They were sprayed black, and they got that emblem on the back. That's all made up. So it didn't offend any countries or anything. So, because they never mention countries, do they, or planes where they've come from?
No, they don't.
Quite clever. So they didn't offend any nations or anything like that.
And then we have a dogfight that ensues, and Merlin looks as though he's in trouble. And you know what? I never ever noticed who Merlin was.
John Stockton.
Even the last time when I watched it, I thought that's Andy Dufresne from The Shawshank Redemption.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I've got the wrong one. Yes, it's Tim Robbins.
Yes.
Yes, Tim Robbins, yeah. I was surprised because you forget when you look at the cast, Meg Ryan's in this as well, isn't she?
She certainly is.
Yeah, so, and like you say, they're all flying. The bit I like is they keep knocking that mouthpiece off. and putting it back on, don't they?
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
I mean, the shots, looking at them in the planes, it's fantastic, when you're watching them.
Oh, it's incredible. He says it's incredible. Anyway, Merlin looks as though he's in trouble, and Maverick says he's got to come and help him out. And his missiles are locked on the enemy, but the two of them fly off. They fly off before they can do anything. But then they come around again by surprise, and again he's locked and loaded. So they ask Stinger for permission to fire, and he says, "Do not fire until you're fired upon." So I suppose there's some diplomacy there, doesn't it? Who's instigating this war? They're kind of teasing each other, aren't they?
Yeah, one thing I noticed with this film, there's not much air fight, is there? There's no like battles in the sky until towards the end. They don't shoot planes down. It is very strategic, like you've just said. Don't fire till they fire, because if they fire, they're in the wrong.
Yes.
And then, so like you say, but the battles that they have and the way they throw this plane around is
incredible.
Oh, they're braver than me. You wouldn't get me in one of those.
No chance.
Let's put it that way.
No.
So,
but then Maverick does something. Well, Maverick, doesn't he? He goes above the other plane. He turns it upside down, so the kind of cockpit to cockpit. He kind of does a rude gesture to him and then takes a photograph. He's got some guts, and he's also pretty cocky as well, isn't he, Maverick?
Oh yeah, he knows he's good, and he's trying to show it, but that is not physically possible in two fighter jets, is it, to do that?
I don't know. Somebody will probably say yes, it is.
No, it's not, because when I was doing my research in this, if you turn a fighter plane upside down like he does, in that close proximity to another plane, it would have just, they would have just obliterated each other. It wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you turn it upside down, but if there was another one with the airstream that close to it, it would just smash into the other plane. Right. It's not possible. Because they touch on this in a little bit, don't they, when we see Charlie's character?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Yeah, and they're saying they've done it, and she's saying it's not possible. And it isn't possible, but in this film, obviously, it is possible.
And then somebody noticed that they're running out of fuel, and they've got to go back, haven't they? And Maverick is the first to land, but he notices Cougar it doesn't look like he's going to make it. So instead of landing, he kind of comes off the other end and continues to fly to help his friend Cougar, because he's not leaving him up there.
No, I think Cougar's having a bit of a breakdown, isn't he? Because I think that, like they say, that plane really spooked him, didn't it, when it locked on? Which it would do, to be fair, because if he'd have fired, it would have been game over, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he looks all drowsy, does Cougar, and Maverick tries to kind of calm him down. But he does actually manage to land it, and the catapult catches him. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? It's hard just watching it, because you think, what would you do in that situation? You wouldn't know if you've ever been just on a normal passenger plane and you're in a little bit of turbulence. That's scary enough. Imagine kind of almost losing control of the plane at that speed, at that height. Terrible.
Yeah, like you say, there's no like autopilot to bring it down, is there? You've physically got to bring it down.
I never thought about that, yes.
Yeah, and the guy in the back, he's pretty helpless because he can't drive it. So you're reliant on whoever's flying the plane to get you down safely. And if he's having a moment, there's not a lot you can do.
There's moments and there's moments in there. Well,
yeah.
But that experience has really rattled Cougar. And he goes to see Stinger, doesn't it, and tell him, I've had enough. That's it.
Yeah, he says my confidence has gone, doesn't he?
Yeah.
His nerves gone, confidence has gone, which is fair play. If, he's being honest, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So, yeah, good on him.
And then Stinger gets Maverick and Goose in, doesn't he? And he really lays into them for disobeying orders, because Stinger was telling them one thing and they were just doing another. But Maverick is Maverick, isn't he? He wants to help people with a bit of showing off at the same time.
Yeah, he does his normal Maverick thing, doesn't he? And have you noticed, is it just me? Everybody seems to be dripping with sweat when they're in this, on this, plane carrier. But like I say, then, because obviously Cougar's handed in his wings, as they say, he was 1 and 2, wasn't he? Those two, Cougar and Merlin, to go to Top Gun.
Yes.
But because now he's handed his wings in, that means Goose and Maverick are now number 1 to go to Top Gun.
Now, there's a little bit in this where when Stinger's really laid into him, he kind of walks round and he stands behind Maverick and Goose as he's selling off. Now, I did a little bit of research, and Tom Cruise is 5'7", exactly the same height as me, and that's all we have in common. But James Tolkien, who plays Stinger, is 5'5". But when you look, Tom Cruise looks about 6 foot to his 4 foot. And that's because Tom Cruise had to wear elevator shoes, didn't he? To make him look a lot taller than what he was.
Yeah, it's a good illusion, isn't it, in film? They try and make people a bit taller than what they are.
Yeah, and so can I just have a quick shout out to James Tolkien, who plays Stinger? And to me, he'll always be remembered as Strickland in Back to the Future. And he sadly passed away only 4 months ago, in March 2026, at the age of 94.
Wow, that's good innings, isn't it?
He certainly is. But I haven't seen him in much, but he always plays the kind of nasty character.
And to quote Marty McFly, has that guy ever had hair?
Yeah, probably not. A bit like me, probably not.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? In the second one, when he goes back, the timelines get mixed up, and he sees him again, doesn't he? His first thing, has that guy ever had hair?
But yeah, James Tolkien, I mean, great fella. And 94, what a good innings. And you know, he will be in our memories for the rest of our lives, especially mine, as far as Back to the Future is concerned.
I think, and a lot of other people, Darren, as well. Like you say, 94 is a good age. If I can make it to 94, I'll be well happy with that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's because we'll still be doing this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And, we'll be getting it right as well by then.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
But now we're back with an 80s classic tune, Danger Zone, aren't we? And this
Kenny
mix, oh yeah, Kenny Loggins, this mix of planes against the sunset. And then we see Tom Cruise on a bike, don't we?
Tom Cruise couldn't ride a motorcycle, could he, when he did this? He had to have training for it.
Did he?
Yes, he had to have training for this.
You know what? You just accept that people can do things all the time. They've always been able to do it.
And do you know what the motorcycle was that he rides in this?
No, it had 2 wheels, and I don't really know much about motorcycles.
It was a Kawasaki GPZ 900R Ninja.
Wow, that means nothing to me.
Neither to me. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but supposedly it was the fastest production motorcycle that you could buy at the time.
Wow. Well,
so when you see him racing that plane when he's coming into Top Gun, that motorcycle was the fastest motorcycle at the time, production motorcycle at the time, so road legal, should we say.
He must have some confidence, Tom Cruise, to do all the stunts he does in films. Really good.
Surprised he never hurt himself what he does, because he does some insane stunts, doesn't he?
He certainly does, at his age as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So then we see Maverick and Goose, and they're in class, aren't they? And there's lots of other pilots there, and they're all vowing, all dying to be Top Gun. And they're introduced to the best pilot in the business, which is Viper. And I did a little research on this. And the real Viper, Rear Admiral Pete Pettigrew, a former Navy aviator and Vietnam vet and Top Gun instructor, is actually in this film later on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'll tell you when it gets to it.
Right, you surprised me with that one, because I didn't know that.
Yeah. But Viper tells them all about what to expect from now on. It kind of goes through all the motions, doesn't it?
Yes. Do you know what I like about this scene? Like in a classroom setting, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're all sat on sofas.
Are they?
Yeah. They're all sat on sofas. And Slider, he's got his arm round Iceman. Looks like they're on a date.
Yes. And you can actually tell there's a bit of rivalry already, can't you, between Ice and Maverick?
Yeah, because Iceman's Iceman, isn't he? He thinks he's the best. Maverick thinks he's the best.
Yeah, and when they're out in the bar later on, you have to say they're looking pretty smart. And back in the 80s, my friend's girlfriend was absolutely lapping this scene up. And I was trying to find fault, but how could you find fault there?
Well, when they got the white suits on?
Yeah, shut up. See, you're good about it.
No, do you know what I thought of when I saw them in the white suits? Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere, when they go out in the white suits.
I wish that had been out at the time when I was in the late 80s.
Yeah, that's all I could think about. But obviously, they all go out in the suits. And is it me? Does Iceman look a bit strange when he's talking to that woman and he's drinking his drink in the corner?
He's got sunglasses on, isn't he?
Yeah.
I remember saying
that-
in that room, "We look stupid." That's it. I remember saying, "We look stupid with sunglasses on." And my friend's girlfriend just told me to shut up. You're just jealous. So I just shut up because you can't compete.
No. Like I say, well, they're in this bar and this is where we see Charlie's character for the first time, isn't it?
It is, because there's been a bit of banter between Maverick and Iceman. You just think they're kind of getting in each other's face, and all the time they're just kind of testing each other out. But the Iceman, he leaves, and yeah, that's where we see Charlotte Blackwood, aka Charlie.
Yes, we do.
And is this something you've ever done? Because for some strange reason, they decide to serenade her with "You've Lost That Loving Feeling" by the Righteous Brothers. Is that something you've ever done for your when your wife was your girlfriend?
It's the first thing I did, Darren. That's how I got her. I sang Boom Boom Shake the Room by Will Smith and said, "How do you like it?" And that was the end of that. No, I've never done this. You've got to have some, shall we say, big coconuts to do this one in a bar full of people. But also, the singing's quite off-key, isn't it?
Which I think adds to the authenticity of it, because you don't expect him to have a good voice.
No, and just touching back to Iceman, what I thought when I watched this, when they're talking to Maverick and Goose, Slider is throwing the shots down him like no tomorrow. I'm thinking, well, you've got to drive a plane tomorrow. You're banging the shots down you.
Never noticed.
He was banging them down him. And then, sorry, got off that. So they do the singing.
Yes, and the whole bar joins in.
Yeah.
They all just happen to know all the words as well. That's very good, isn't it?
To the Righteous Brothers classic.
Yes. And when it finishes, Maverick sits next to Charlie and he tries to chat her up. But to me, she looks a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and kind of puts Maverick in his place.
Yeah, she's not falling for the charm, is she? She's not falling for the act, as it were.
And then she says her date, Perry, arrives. Well, that's Pete Pettigrew. That's the real Viper.
Oh, that's him, is it?
That's him.
Right, because he's quite older, isn't he?
Yes.
So
as he would be, being a Vietnam vet and things like that. But
well, yeah, I suppose so. He's not going to be 21, is he? And then you see Maverick look at them, don't you? And you can see what he's thinking. Well, he's a bit old for her, isn't he?
Yeah, but he also he's a little bit mad because his kind of chat lines has not worked. Who hasn't been there? So
I don't think I ever had a good chat-up line, Darren, in my life.
They don't exist. They're just a myth. Just talk to people normally. And if you get nowhere, it's because you're ugly. No, I can't believe I've said that. Anyway, Maverick follows her into the toilet, doesn't he? Into the ladies. And he still gets nowhere.
Yeah, he's trying, isn't he?
Yeah, because she's just too quick for him. She's too smart.
Yeah, and then doesn't she walk out and say to Goose, "Your mate was fantastic," or something?
Yeah, something like that. But can I just go back into the toilet, into the ladies? Because, like I said before about Tom Cruise's height, 5'7". Kelly McGillis is 5'10", and if you notice, she's sitting on a sink, or the angle is created so they kind of both either look the same or Tom Cruise is just a little bit bigger. If I'd have only known this back in the 80s, I'd have had a field day against my friend's girlfriend.
Yes, you could have said, well, he's short and she's tall. You know what I mean? I think Tom Cruise has always got a stick, hasn't he, for being too short?
Yes, and I will admit, there's something that's not totally right about a short man and a tall woman. I don't know why, because I'm a short man. Luckily, I'm married to a shorter woman, so that's all right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It doesn't look bad, and I don't mean this to sound how this sounds. It doesn't look bad if, like, say, a man's taller than the woman. That's fine. But when you get a short man and a tall woman, for some reason it doesn't look right, does it?
Yeah, I was always told that at school. Oh, women don't like short men. And I don't know what it does. It just depresses you, so you look around for short women. And there's not that many about.
No. Why did you marry your wife, Darren? Because she was smaller than me.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
No. So then we're back in flight school, aren't we, in the next scene? And
yes, and they said they're going to be briefed by a very important person. Yes. So when Charlie walks in and starts briefing them, Maverick looks more than embarrassed, doesn't he?
Yeah, because it's one of those moments, isn't it? It's like, oh no, I was trying it on with her last night, and this is the person that's come here to be like, she's like an instructor, isn't she?
Yes, she's kind of the top of the field. And I think this is what you were talking about earlier. She mentioned something, and then Maverick pulls her up on her data and tells her it's wrong. I think she were mentioning something on the MiG-28. He says it's wrong. And when he tries to explain, Ice coughs, doesn't he? And says, bullshit,
Yeah, he
at the
does.
same time. And that was totally improvised by him. And everybody laughed genuinely because they didn't know he was going to do that.
Yeah, and like I say, obviously it's not. You can turn it. Obviously, playing. I'm going to call them an F-14 because I don't really know what they are. An F-40. You can turn it upside down, but in that close proximity to another one, no, you'd both be out of the sky. Let's put it that way. But he says, because she asks him, doesn't she? Well, how did you do that? And he says, I was inverted.
Yes.
Doesn't he? And said we took a Polaroid. So if you'd have done that, you'd have had the Polaroid on you, wouldn't you?
Of course, never thought about that.
I
yes.
thought this. I thought you'd have pulled the Polaroid out and gone, well, there you go, there's your proof.
But
I'm
he never
upside
did.
down and he's there in the sky, so can't fake that because I'm upside down. Yeah, and he doesn't.
Yeah, and afterwards, after the briefing, Maverick and Charlie have a little bit banter again, don't they? And I think just then he's starting to wear her down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think she's curious, isn't she?
Yes, she's seeing that kind of cheeky side to him. But we're now back in the air, aren't we? And the flight instructor Jester is putting Maverick and Goose through the paces as they try to outsmart and outfly. He tries to outsmart and outfly them both. And now, I did also, the little bit of research I did, all of Maverick's flying stunts were done by a Scott D. Ackman, who later went on to become an astronaut. These men are amazing.
They are, and there was another man, wasn't there? It was Art Schultz. He was a stunt aircraft pilot on this film, and he crashed doing one of the stunts and sadly passed away.
That's terrible.
So, yeah, right at the end, it does say, if you watch the end credits, this film is dedicated to Art Schultz.
Oh, dear. That should have been at the front, shouldn't it? That should have been at the beginning.
It's right down at the bottom, so it's one of those, isn't it? Like I say, he was the stunt. I think he did the buzz past the tower.
Ah, right, okay.
He did that, yeah. So he did that. But like I say, if you can drive these planes like some of these, it's fantastic.
Of course. But Maverick, he's not having it. He's not going to be beaten by anybody, especially Jester. And after a few scary moves, he finally gets a missile lock on Jester. And Jester's an instructor, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's not happy at all. And he says, return to base. He's kind of outdoing the instructor. But again, Maverick has to push it, doesn't he? And this is where, like you just said, he does this crazy flyby the control tower. And there's that guy who spills all his coffee, and but it's dangerous, isn't it? But he's got to push it.
Well, Iceman tells him, doesn't he, that he's dangerous.
Yes.
He does tell him, doesn't he, numerous times, you're dangerous. But I don't know if it's showing off. It's just confidence, isn't it? He can fly that plane as well as anybody. And it's like I say, the bit that I liked when he's being chased, how he puts the brakes on, doesn't he?
Yes.
And stops it. Well, doesn't stop it, but slows it right down so the other one goes flying past him. And that's how he gets the lock on him, isn't it? With really clever aerial skills.
Very good aerial skills. So then we're back on the ground, aren't we? And they're in the changing rooms. And it finally comes to head with Maverick and Ice. And like you just said, Ice tells him he doesn't like him because he's dangerous and he's unsafe. And throughout this film, Val Kilmer doesn't have that much to say in it, does it? I don't know whether this was an early role for Val Kilmer, but he's very sensible.
Yeah, and he does that teeth chatter thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, because to me, in this, Val Kilmer is just constantly chewing gum and teeth. That's all he is in this film, isn't he?
Yes.
That's his character, basically.
But, sorry, Maverick is told with Goose then to get to Viper's office, who really lays into them, doesn't he? And it's all about flying that below that 10,000 feet and being unsafe.
It's when he walks out of the office that man walks into the coffee. He says, "Not again."
Yeah.
I thought that was quite comical, that bit.
And they're told you either obey the rules or you're out of here. And right then I'm thinking, they've got to be on the last chance now. And then Maverick and Goose have a bit of a heart-to-heart, don't they? And they both decide, we've really got to straighten out now.
Well, Goose tells him, doesn't he? Does he want a mortgage or something? Is
Yeah,
that what he
a
says?
family, mortgage,
family.
and a life, really.
Yeah, he wants, like you say, he needs the money, basically, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then we see Maverick talking to Charlie again, and he's still trying to get a date with her. But she tells him she doesn't date students, and then gives him a slip of paper, and which says dinner tonight, 5:30 sharp, and hands
Very
it to him.
clever, that was very clever. Because
Well,
then
I'll do
is
my
it
best.
Slider? Yeah, is it Slider that says, you've struck out or something?
Yes.
And then he says to him, doesn't he? He's thinking, no, I haven't. And he says, Slider, you stink. And he's
Yeah.
smelling himself, isn't he?
How could anybody that stupid get into that flight school?
I don't know. It's, to fly a plane, you'd have to be quite clever, I would imagine. Or
Oh, the
even be
exams
at
you
the
must have to
back.
pass.
Yeah. Even being in the back and checking all the gauges and everything. You still got to know what you're doing.
Yes, definitely. But if somebody tells you you're smelling yourself, then you can't be that smart.
No.
But anyway, it's got to that point, hasn't it? The famous volleyball scene.
They wanted to cut this scene, didn't they?
Well, I wish they would have done. It'd have saved me a lot of heartache in the past.
Behave, Darren. You love watching grown men oiled up knocking a volleyball around a beach.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No. So, like I say, this was quite good. The music as well, isn't it? And like we've said before numerous times on these podcasts, the music just fits.
It is. How do they do it? How do they make
know.
it just fit?
I don't know. There's some clever people about, Darren.
There is. And back in the 80s, my girlfriend, if I'd have had a cloth to wipe up all the saliva that were dripping from her mouth, I'd have handed it to her.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad, Darren, if she was sat at the side of you. I've seen the photos. You resemble a young Rick Astley.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now I resemble a young Stinger. But finally, this scene's over, isn't it? And Maverick has to leave because he's got a date, hasn't he? And he sets off on that motorbike to see Charlie.
But he hasn't had a shower or anything,
No.
has he? I thought this, because he touches on it in a minute, but you're thinking, you've got to be hot and sweaty, and then you're going round for a dinner date.
It's for the girls.
Yeah, so like I say, he pulls up outside the house. Now, did you notice something was misplaced in this scene? Before she leaves at the end, there's the for rent sign outside the house before she said she's moving.
Oh, I would never have picked up on that.
Yeah, I don't think it's this. I think it's the next scene he goes round. There's one of them, because I noticed it straight away. I think it's when he drives away, when he goes for a shower after this. It's there, and I'm thinking, well, then at the end he drives around, sees it, doesn't he, and thinks, oh, she's left. Well, that was there before. So I picked up on that.
You got me on that one. Well done.
Yeah.
But when you're speaking of a shower, don't you think it's really weird? He gets round to a house and he says, I'm just going for a shower. You wouldn't go into somebody else's house and do that.
No, definitely not. Unless she said, you stink, go and have a shower.
Yes. Which then you would. But you're taking things for granted. You're being too cheeky.
Yeah, and the bit I like about this, she's actually cooking him dinner. They're not going out for dinner. She's cooking him dinner.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, because she takes advantage of, well, not advantage, she takes control of the situation and says, well, I'm ready to eat. And she's quite a strong personality, isn't she? So he ain't kind of doing what she says.
It's like a game of chess with these two, isn't it? Because he's trying, but she's not really letting on anything, is she, really?
Yeah. And then they have dinner, and this is where Maverick tells Charlie all about his father and how he died being a pilot. But really, all we want to see is Charlie and Maverick together. But they're stringing it out, aren't they?
Yeah, because he mentions his dad. He disappeared on November the 5th, 1965.
Very good, yes.
See? Yes, and there's a bit more about his dad later on, isn't it? We find a bit more out about his dad.
We do, yes. And then do we see them in the lift together?
Now, this lift scene, this was an extra scene. Because if you notice in the lift, he's dripping with sweat and she's got a cap on. Now, did you know why he's dripping in sweat and she's got a cap on?
Hot day. Oh, she wants to keep the sun off her head.
No, because when it went to test audiences, they said it wasn't enough of a love story between the two of them. Nothing really happened.
Ah, right.
So obviously,
okay.
I'll touch on it in a bit when it gets to the scene. But Kelly McGuinness was filming another film and she dyed her hair brunette and it had grown. So she had to put the cap on because she's not blonde, she's brunette.
Ah.
And Tom Cruise was filming Colour of Money, where he trained his hair to be in a quiff for the Colour of Money, because that's set. Is that set in the? It's not 80s. It's a set. Is it 50s, 60s, something like that? Colour of Money.
I think
Got
so.
that right.
Yes, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
So I could be wrong on that, but he's got his hair quiffed up, and because it was quiffed, they Colour of Money let them obviously borrow him for a day to do these scenes. So they had to flatten his hair down. The only way he could flatten his hair down was to wet it.
Right.
That's why he's wet, because they were both filming different films.
Never picked up on that.
Scene. Yes.
Never picked up. We also get a little shot. I don't know whether it's the same day or the next day, when we see the families arriving. And I think this is the first time we see Carol, which is played by Meg Ryan. And she's coming to see Goose, isn't she?
She is.
But it's only a short little scene, but it kind of adds to it later. But the pilots are back in class and they're being taught all about manoeuvres. And you got Charlie then telling Maverick in front of the whole class that it was wrong again what he did with the MiG earlier. And Maverick doesn't like it. It looks like a kid that's being told off.
Yeah, he doesn't react to this well, does he?
No, because he storms off on his bike and she chases him in a kind of a strange car, I think.
Do you not know what that car is, Darren? That's one of the coolest cars. I've got a story about that car.
Is it?
One of the coolest cars in the planet. That's a Porsche 356 Speedster. The reason I know this, I love that car. That's one of my favourite cars, the 356 Speedster. And I tried to hire one for my wedding as my wedding car. I wanted it as my wedding car.
Wow.
I couldn't find one to hire though. So I really wanted it.
For all the people listening, what did you hire?
Didn't hire anything. I was actually loaned a friend of mine because I was telling him, because he's into his cars, and I said I can't find one to hire. And he says, well, if you want, you can have my Lamborghini. So he lent me his Lamborghini. A Lamborghini Gallardo. He lent me that for my wedding day as my wedding car.
I'd have rather had that.
No, well, yeah, the Lamborghini's cool. Don't get me wrong, it was fantastic. Really nice. Everybody loved it. And I've got a nice video of me turning up to where we got married at Haddon Hall. Hassop Hall, sorry. Me coming down the long driveway in a Ferrari, in a Lamborghini. I'll start that again. Me coming down Hassop Hall, down the long driveway in a black Lamborghini Gallardo.
Brilliant. And did you leave in that same one, you and your wife?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And did she know? Did she know that you were turning up in that?
Yes, she did. She was there when we sorted it. So my friend Jason Farmer, he lent me his Lamborghini.
Brilliant.
So, but the Porsche Spider, to be honest, Darren, it's just iconically cool. Everything I love, a 50s sports car, love it.
Okay, well, that's put me in my place saying it looks a bit weird.
James Dean used to drive one.
Well, yes. Yeah, I can see that. And he's a heart of cool.
And that's not the car he crashed in. That was a Porsche 550 Spider that he crashed in. Right. So if you want your Porsche knowledge, Darren, I've got it for you.
I don't like cars. I'm not bothered about one.
No. But
the one I drive at the minute is only because the wife picked it. If she can drive one, then that's it. Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly. And so obviously Maverick takes off, doesn't it, on his motorbike, and she gives chase in the Porsche. And they go across that junction, don't they, where they nearly get wiped out.
Yeah, she takes a right jump, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. And
she finally catches. Yeah, they finally catch up, and they have a bit of an argument. And she says that she had to be like that with him because she didn't want anybody to know that she'd fallen in love with him. And I remember in the 80s, my friend going, "Oh," I'm thinking, "Shut up."
You don't fall in love that easy, I'm sure.
No. I don't know, but there are people out there that do. But anyway, at this point, Maverick looks at her and he kisses her. But in reality, Tom Cruise forgot his lines and he didn't know what to do, so he improvised that kiss.
Well, it's not a bad improvisation, is it, really? To be fair.
And then we see kind of a love scene between them. And again, I can still hear my friend's girlfriend saying, "Lucky cow." Yes, from Yorkshire.
I like it. But the love scene, Darren, what I just touched on, the reason it was dark and blue is, again, because this was filmed on the same day as the lift scene. So she got different colour hair and his hair was different. That's why they had to do it dark like this, so nobody would pick up on it.
You would never have known, would you?
No, not at all.
It is filmed quite classy. It's not as...
It's not seedy.
No, it's not as seedy as what nowadays. Nowadays, you see films, it's any excuse to get the clothes off. It doesn't bear any significance in any of the films or anything, but that was fairly classy the way they did that.
Yeah, and then we're back at flight school then, aren't we?
Yes, we are, yes.
And we have the famous line. Do you know what the line is, Darren?
Shall we say it together?
On 3. 1, 2, 3. I feel the need for speed.
Shall we say it again? Because we...
right. On
1,
3.
1, 2, 3.
I feel the need for speed. And then they go to that silly hand.
The hand clap.
But miss.
Yes.
Did they miss it? Did they miss the high five? Or did they hit it?
I think they might have missed it because Tom Cruise weren't tall enough to kind of get his arm across.
Yeah, they miss it. They miss it. Yeah, they do miss it.
But then we're in the air and Ice is in front of Maverick by 2 points, isn't it? Because this is what we're told. It's like a competition to see who will be the best pilot. And then they kind of find out that they're up against Viper and Jester. Fancy being up against the best two, best two instructors.
Yeah, because you've got to be game, haven't you, then?
Oh, Maverick is too hot-headed, and I think he's with Hollywood, isn't he? And he leaves him behind because he wants Viper. That's all he sees. I want Viper.
Big mistake.
Yeah. But again, the film scenes, the way these are shot are just incredible. They are, honestly.
Yeah, it's very good how they do it. And it's very clever because obviously the up-close scenes, they're not in the air, but it looks like they're in the air. So for those effects for 1986, that's quite clever, isn't it?
And I do like this next bit when Maverick kind of says to himself, Viper is really good. But little does he know, Viper's saying, Maverick, he's pretty good.
He does say that, doesn't he? He says that boy can fly.
Yeah, so they've got mutual respect for each other, but they're not actually telling each other.
But why Maverick's preoccupied with Viper, what happens?
Oh, Jester comes up behind Maverick.
Behind him, locks on.
Locks on, game over.
Game over, yeah. You would be shot down if we was in proper combat. Correct.
And then we're down in the changing rooms, and Jester tells Maverick, that was some of the best flying I've ever seen, but never leave your wingman. That's true. It's true, yeah. And that's where Ice tells Maverick he's got a bad attitude. He's worse than the enemy. That's a bad thing to say, isn't it? But is he right? Is he right saying that? Has he got a bad attitude?
I think in the situation that they're in, you kind of have to follow the script, don't you?
Yes.
As soon as you come away from it, that's when you put yourself or your colleagues in trouble. And they don't want that, do they? They want backup, because if someone comes behind, you can get the one behind. It's very clever how they do it.
Yeah, so there's that sensible thing coming out of Ice again, isn't there?
Yeah, he speaks quite a lot of truth, but probably doesn't word it or phrase it the best, does he?
No, and I think he loses a little bit of cool being that sensible. Not much, because, I mean, look at him. But he does lose a little bit of cool being that sensible.
He does. So
but
you
I think
want him to be the antagonist, don't you, to Maverick?
Yes, you want to see the confrontation between each other. But Ice is just too straight, isn't it? By the book. And he's right to be
perfect. He wants everything perfect.
And he's right to be, because you're dealing with life and death, aren't you?
You are.
And I think Maverick knows he's being stupid. He does know.
Yeah, and then we cut to the scene, don't we, in the bar.
Oh, is it a cafe? Is it a cafe?
A cafe's bar. He's got a beer in his hand, haven't he? It's like a cafe, so he must serve beer.
Yeah,
the
and
cafe.
there's Goose and Charlie. Goose and Carol and Maverick and Charlie. And Goose goes on the piano and he's playing Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis. And this was only put in at the last minute when Tony Scott, who obviously did the film, heard that song on the radio that morning and decided, I'm putting that in.
It works well as well, doesn't it, to be fair?
It does. It's a great song. And it's the right one. So I think when people are writing these things or directing, and then something influences them and you think, oh, that'll just fit right in there. It's kind of genius in a way, isn't it? The mind must never be stopping thinking.
No, it's like we said before, filmmaking, I always think is very clever, where the locations are, music, everything. I suppose we just take it for granted now,
Of course we do.
don't we? We don't think about it as much, but obviously when we're rewatching these, it sparks that intrigue, doesn't it, when we're watching them?
Oh, it does. And you kind of pick up on a little bit more into the kind of story and the character and who they were years ago when you watched it.
Yeah, because when I watched it, I was 49 years of age, so I took it in quite well. If I'd have watched it in the 80s, it would probably gone over my head.
Yes, you'd have just
You know what I mean?
concentrated on the flight scenes, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then, so now we see more really classy shots of Maverick and Charlie on Maverick's, what was it, a Kawasaki, did you say?
Kawasaki, yeah, Ninja, we'll call it.
It looks cool, doesn't it?
900. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, is it like that all the time where they are, that sunset and everything?
Is it California this is set?
It is, yes.
Yeah, so I would imagine so. It looks really nice, doesn't it? I mean, we're complaining when we get hot weather like we're getting now for a week or two. It's
That's
like
terrible.
that all the time there. So
I'll put up with it if you got them sunsets. They're brilliant.
definitely.
So anyway, the next day, we're back in the air, and there's only 2 weeks to go until graduation. And this time, ice is there, isn't it?
He is.
But during the flight, Maverick makes a maneuver and loses both of his engines. This
I think
turns
he loses
into
it because I took from this. Sorry, Darren, I put it in.
Sorry?
I took from this. It was Iceman that caused this because Iceman wouldn't move out of the way.
No, that's right. Yes.
If he'd have moved out of the way at the start, I don't think that would have happened. But because he waited and waited and waited, and when he finally moved, obviously Maverick got into his airspace, and obviously the plane couldn't cope with the whatever happens with planes and air, and it shut all the engines off, didn't it?
Yeah, and it goes into a flat spin and it's
Yes.
hurtling towards the ground. And then Goose has to operate the ejector seats because Maverick can't, can he? Is he upside down or something? He
He
can't,
can't
reach
reach, can he? He's kind of trapped in the seat. He's saying, I can't reach it. But now, if Maverick would have reached the lever to pop the roof, do you think it would have gone back far enough for Goose to get out? Do you think it's because Goose popped it? I couldn't get my head around this. Surely that shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't, should
What
it?
happened there?
Because as he did the ejector seat, they both come out, but Goose hit his head on the cockpit because it had not flown away enough.
Yeah, and I did think surely that would go before the seats come out.
Yes.
It kind of went at the same time, didn't it?
Yeah, but for whatever reason, it didn't. And
No.
they kind of both land in the sea. And I think, does a Goose land first, I think, and Maverick has to swim over to him. But he's dead, isn't he? The way he hits that water.
Yeah, he's done.
And
So, because I would imagine you come out with some force out of an ejector seat.
oh, can you imagine? Yes. At them
Yes, but-
speeds.
Yeah, and spinning as well.
Oh, dear. And then when the helicopter arrives, Maverick won't let go of him, will he? He feels kind of responsible for what he's done.
Yes, his
And
friend,
it's-
isn't it?
Yeah, it's really sad to see Goose kind of hoisted up to the helicopter, dead,
Yeah, he's limp, isn't
totally
he?
motionless.
Yeah, because Goose's character was quite a good character, I thought.
Yeah, it was. He was funny. He was good pilot. He was good. Sometimes we get that in films, don't we? You kind of latch onto a character and they take them off you way
Far
too soon.
Yeah, because what I noticed, all the other sort of pilots liked him.
Yes.
You know, nobody had a bad word to say about him. So, yeah, and then he's gone, and like I say, and
Yeah,
then
we're on the ground, aren't we? And then Viper comes to tell Maverick that he is dead, and Maverick kind of accepts that it was his fault.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, I don't know with this one. It's a bit of a strange one because obviously he's flying the plane, so he feels responsible, doesn't he?
Yes, he's a leader, Maverick, isn't he? He takes responsibility for everything. He
Yes.
makes the decisions. Nobody's changing his ways. And let's be honest, he has made a few mistakes. He's been a bit smart arse all the way through this film. And is it costing him? But like you said, ice, was it his fault?
Yeah, that's what I noticed when I watched it. And then he's back in the coolest car ever, the Speedster, with Charlie, isn't he? And she
Yes.
drops him off.
Yes. And he's having to kind of get Goose's stuff together, isn't it? And then he has to go and see his wife. And his child's there just playing, totally unaware. It's terrible. Terrible.
Where are they, do you think, there? In one
Are
of the
they,
classrooms?
are they on the naval? Sorry, are they on the base, the Air Force base, or are they in an airport waiting to go home?
I don't know, because like in seats, aren't they single seats?
Yes.
And like I say, you see him pick up the aviator shades. Now, aviator shades, Ray-Bans, they wasn't doing too well, was they? And then obviously Top Gun came out and their sales went up by 40%.
Did they really? 40%?
Yeah, it kind of saved Ray-Ban because they were close to going under. And
Yes. But then,
that's it.
then Maverick is up in front of the disciplinary committee, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they find, like you say, that it wasn't his fault for Goose's death. So well done for picking up on that.
Because even Carol doesn't blame him, does she? When she
No,
speaks
she
to him,
don't.
she says he loved flying with you. You know, so if she's not angry at him, it can't have been his fault.
No. So that kind of gives Maverick some extra kind of incentive. And we then see him back in the air, and he looks mean, doesn't he? He looks up for it. His eyes are kind of gritted together, if your eyes can be gritted together. he looks business. He looks really mean, doesn't he?
He does, but there's something not quite right with him, is there?
No, he's a little bit more reserved, isn't he, than before. And when they land, his co-pilot Sundown tells him he should have taken the shot. And then he kind of turns on Sundown, doesn't he? And shouts at him, he says, "I'll shoot when I'm good and ready to shoot." And did you notice who Sundown was?
Go on, tell me.
It was Theo out of Die Hard.
Yes, he is. Yes.
These characters that come in, like Merlin and Theo, that you probably see later on as more main characters. There's a good cast in this.
Yeah, it's a strong cast. And like you said, I like in films where you place actors to different films.
Yes.
You know, you think that's that bloke from Die Hard. And then you get
sometimes
it,
that can do your head in.
Yeah, definitely. But like you say, and Maverick now is struggling, isn't he? He's walking across the airfield and he's not happy. And
No.
what does Viper say? Get him
Just
back in the air.
get him back in the air, because Jester's not sure whether he can cope with the situation. And like you said, Viper says, keep sending him back up in the air. And in the changing rooms, Ice tells Maverick that he's sorry about Goose. And it's a little bit of compassion now from Ice.
Yeah, and you can see he's not comfortable doing it, but he's doing it, isn't he? He's like, look, you know, and he's not. You tell by his face, he doesn't look comfortable being nice, does he?
You know, he's grimacing through those teeth, like he said.
Yeah.
And then
you're Rick Astley quiff.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'd give anything to have that today.
Never going to give you up, Darren.
I had to in the end. It just had a mind of its own. But then, do we hear on the telephone that somebody said Maverick has quit?
No,
and he goes,
Wolfman's there, isn't he? Wolfman's behind the lockers.
Yes.
Yeah, then he goes to the phone and says, Maverick's quit.
Yeah, which is, it's all got to him then, hasn't it? The death of Goose, all the showing off, all the Ice kind of digging at him all the time. And I'm sure does he go to the airport and Charlie catches up with him in the bar?
Yeah, she goes to him, doesn't she, to have a bit of a heart-to-heart. And you think, looking at Maverick, he's had a lot to drink and he looks worse for wear, doesn't he? But he's actually drinking water.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Because she asks for the same drink and it's water.
Yeah. And just to add insult to injury and pile another thing on top of him, he knows that she's got the job she applied for and she'll be moving to Washington.
He mentions that, doesn't he? He says, well, you'll be leaving soon anyway.
Yeah. And she tries to convince No, he's not. And she tries to convince him not to quit, but he just dismisses her. And then she turns to him, doesn't she? And she calls him a quitter. And I think that's the only way to treat Maverick, because if you call him a quitter, he'll do the opposite.
Yeah, you've got to kind of call his bluff, haven't you? You've got to.
Yeah, so she's smart. She's not. She's smarter than Maverick, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's the brains, isn't she?
Oh yeah, because then he goes to see Viper, and Viper tells him all about his father and how he died a hero. He saved 3 planes in a dogfight before he was shot down. And Viper basically tells him that he has to learn from his mistakes and then put them into practice, which he's not been doing, has he? He's not been learning from his mistakes.
No, he hasn't, not at all. And it's like I say, and he asks him, doesn't it, how he's got the information about his father? And he said, well, it's kind of classified, isn't it? But why would that not be common knowledge? Because he had originally said his dad disappeared. So
Yeah, so it's again after he's kind of thinking about it, isn't he? And again, these brilliant shots of the sunset and the planes and everything. It's just those little bits. You could have filled them for me for an hour and a half, and I'd just love watching them.
yeah, it's like everything, isn't it? It makes the film what it is.
Oh,
So
it
like say
does.
the sunset when he's sat on the bike and that plane's landing, brilliant. And then we cut to, is it like graduation?
It certainly is. It's graduation day, and I think the thing I like about this graduation day is Maverick. He never won, did he? Ice did. And usually in a film, the main character wins, well, just about everything, but not in this one. And back in the 80s, I wanted to shout out loud, "Ha ha, loser!" And try and get a little bit of credibility back for myself. And definitely, I would have loved to have done that and shut my friend's girlfriend up. But when you look at them there again, look at them in the white suits. I was just sat there in my chair on my own. I had no girlfriend, I had no prospects or anything. So I just shut up.
Oh dear.
I just shut up.
Oh dear.
But out of all that, Viper comes and says we have a crisis situation in the Indian Ocean.
And then we see them back on the aircraft carrier, don't we?
Yes, and
And
Stinger tells them all the
Stinger's in
duties.
charge again. Yeah, he's in
Yes.
charge again, isn't he?
And they've got to give air support to a rescue mission. And this is the real thing. There's no messing about now. This is it. What does he say? This is what you've been trained for. Make America proud. And you kind of go, right, this is it. Go on. But you're kind of nervous for him at the same time. I suppose you've got to take that step at some point. But when it's your graduation and you've been kind of thrust away from it, your nerves must be on absolute high alert.
Well, yeah, like I say, because this is, like I say, the real deal now. You've only got one go at this, haven't you? So if this
Definitely.
goes wrong, it's going wrong.
And Stinger tells Maverick to back up Ice, but Ice again questions, doesn't it? He questions about his state of mind. What does Stinger say? Just get on with it. Just get on with it.
I like how Maverick's checking like the missiles before he gets in the plane. Shaking them to make sure they're intact.
I suppose, in a way, he's kind of checking the craft over, isn't it? I suppose when you hear it, you kind of hear that the pilot and the crafter as one. They know that plane like inside out. It's part of the body. They move the head, the craft moves, and everything. So it's good. It's good that he's kind of checking it over. It's almost like it's his own, and he's paid for it.
Yeah, it is. And then, like I say, when they're in the air, obviously Iceman's taking the lead, isn't he?
Yes, and they're kind of in a dogfight, aren't they? And Hollywood and Wolfman, I'm sure they're the first to get hit. And that's kind of when you know this is real.
Yeah, we're not messing about here. This is the real thing.
Yeah. But due to the training, they kind of press the ejector seat, and this time they don't hit the cockpit and they kind of parachute into the sea. But now we see that there are 6 of them, 6 of the enemy. And Stinger wants backup, and Maverick, well, he's still checking his plane out, isn't he? And then he's in the air and he says, I'll be, 2 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, the speed they go, you're going to get there pretty quick, aren't you?
I suppose you are, yes. But in the meantime, Ice almost gets shot down himself, doesn't he? And the flying here looks absolutely amazing. It does what it reminded me of, and this is going to sound really stupid, it reminded me of watching some flies. it's so erratic and quick, and you don't know where they're going. And it's hard to concentrate on who's who and what's what.
Yeah, you kind of don't know what's going on, do you? Who's chasing who, kind of thing, do you? It's because it's that fast.
And then, yeah, Maverick then gets into one of the plane's jet wash. I think, is that what happened last time when kind of Goose copped it? They got into Ice's jet wash.
That was it, yes.
And he temporarily loses control, doesn't he?
He does.
But Maverick, to me, looks scared. And he calls on his old pal, doesn't he? He's got his dog tag in his hand. And he's clutching it, and he calls on his old pal for advice.
Well, you would do, wouldn't you? Because it's, like you say, anything like that would still be on your mind.
Of course. And you've got to fear for your own life.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like I said, we just keep saying you're in a fight here. So it's flight or fight, they say, don't they? It's one of those.
They certainly do.
You've got to knuckle down and go for it.
But Maverick then all of a sudden comes back, like in any good film, and he's back in the game, and he shoots one of the enemy planes down straight away, doesn't he? And then Ice takes out the next one, and then I think Slider goes down to one engine. I'm sure he goes down to one engine, and then he's flying just with one engine. Again, scary. They do say planes can fly with one engine. You don't need two, but I wouldn't like to be in one when it's down to one engine.
No, especially up there when you're doing this. You'd want your plane to be 100% working, wouldn't you?
Yes. And this is a pivotal moment for me now, because Ice is in trouble and Maverick then comes to back him up. And he tells him what to do. I think he says, bank right and you'll be all right. So he actually takes Maverick's advice, and then Maverick takes the other one out.
Yeah, it's like, say, Iceman has to listen to him, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got no alternative.
No. Especially when they're on your tail, as they say. You know, you've not got a lot of wiggle room to get out of it, have you? Because as soon as they lock on, you've had it.
Oh, yeah. But then Maverick's getting shot at, and everything is relying on this split-second timing, communication, and incredible flying, because he's one wrong move in a split second, and that's you done. And they're not messing about.
Oh, no. They're highly trained, obviously, pilots, aren't they?
Oh, yes. But Maverick then has to use his brains, doesn't he? And I think you alluded to it earlier when you said he slows his plane down. And they ask him why he's doing that. And he wants the enemy to kind of fly past. But then he does this vertical thing when he goes up in the air and comes behind the plane that's trying to shoot him. And he kind of takes that one down. What a maneuver.
He's very clever. Like I say, he can drive that plane. Definitely. And I say it's the same move he used when he was on with
Goose.
Goose, yeah. You know, when they stopped it and then they come back in.
Yes.
It's a very clever manoeuvre that they use.
And then, well, they see off the enemy, don't they? And then they return to the ship. And again, he wants to do a flyby, doesn't he? Past the control tower. But I think it's a little bit more respectable this time, isn't it? But that guy still does his coffeeing.
Yeah, and then when they land on the aircraft carrier, they're all like cheering and shouting, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. All the crew's there. And then Ice comes and thanks Maverick. And finally, Maverick gains something, for me, more than a Top Gun trophy. He gets a little bit of respect.
Yeah. Something that, like I say, Iceman now can tell that Maverick's a really good pilot.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for Maverick, he'd have been shot down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that. Like I say, you rely on your wingman.
Yeah, you got to rely on each other, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I might play this at work, relying on each other, working as a team.
No, yeah, we do work as a team.
Yeah, just not on the same side.
Yeah.
But then we see Maverick, and he kind of takes a moment, doesn't he, to look at Goose's dog tag before throwing it into the sea. I don't think he'll ever forget Goose, but he does have to move on now, doesn't he?
Would you throw them in the sea?
No chance. I'd keep them forever as a momentum.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But we all approach it differently, don't we? And I suppose if I could understand if he was at sea in the Navy, returning him to the sea, but strange one for me. But that's what I do and what you do. He's a different person.
Yes.
And then Stinger speaks to Maverick, doesn't he? About what he's going to do next. And Maverick says, He always wanted to be an instructor.
I like how he blows the cigar smoke in his face.
Oh, Stinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wants to be an instructor, doesn't he? And now I've never seen it. This might surprise you. I've never seen the remake. Is that what he does in the remake?
I've never seen the remake.
Have you not? Okay,
No.
so we can't speak about that then because we don't know.
We don't.
We don't. No.
And then sorry, are we at the bar then?
Yeah, we see the Top Gun hat.
Yes.
I like this. It's quite clever what she does here.
Yes, she puts the dime in the jukebox and you've got that loving feeling plays. And he kind of looks around and gets up to think, who's put that on? But we all know, don't we?
Yes, we do. Who was it, Darren?
It was Charlie.
Yes, it was.
You thought I was going to say the barman, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought you were, yeah.
No, Charlie appears and they have a bit of banter and they finally get it together. And hopefully for good. Although, like we said, we've never seen the remake, so we wouldn't know.
We don't know. No, and then pretty much that's the end of Top Gun.
It certainly is. Now, remember, I said at the beginning that would be interesting to see how I was after rewatching this for, it's got 40 years, Sam.
Yes.
40 years. It's 40 minutes since you've seen it, but 40 years. And I think it was more of a love story. More of a love story than I remember. And the action was better than I remember. But it's the way this film's shot. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because like I say, the test audiences didn't like it because there wasn't enough of a romance between Charlie and Maverick. That's why they added those scenes in, which I think, to be fair, did help it. You know, it set the scenes.
Yes. And not to be rotten to Kelly McGillis, but do you think she was good enough for him? Because a lot of people said she was the wrong choice.
What, the actress to play that part?
Yes.
I don't know. I thought she was all right.
I thought she was all right.
Yeah,
but I remember people saying that.
Yeah, I thought she was fine in it because she did what she needed to do. And she wasn't bad looking, was she, back then?
No. And you know what? And I know now the actors had to fly in those planes themselves. Like you said earlier, they took them up and they spun them around and they were all sick. And I've got a little bit more respect for them for doing that because I wouldn't do it.
No chance. Get in it. I won't get in the thing. No.
But yeah, even Tom Cruise, I've got more respect for him. I don't hate Tom. I like Tom Cruise. He's good. But you had another brilliant soundtrack and you've got that winning combination, haven't you, again, of the way the film shot, the superstar and the music.
If you get tick all those boxes down, you're on the right way to making a decent film, I think.
Oh, definitely. And like I said earlier, I do like the way that Maverick didn't win the trophy. And the fact that just because he's a great looking guy, Charlie didn't fall for him. He had to work at it. In fact, he had to work at everything in that film. Nothing came to him naturally, did it?
No.
And I think mainly Maverick was cursed by the legacy of his dad. And he was trying to live up to it. And he just couldn't. He's not his dad.
No, I think that shadow was over him, wasn't it?
Yes.
All the time. And he was trying to emulate his dad. But you can't emulate people who's been before you.
No, you've got to be yourself.
You've got to be yourself.
His dad was being himself. You can admire people and you can take traits from them and little bits that you admire and you'd like to be like. But ultimately, you've got to be yourself. Otherwise, what's the point in being here?
Exactly. Exactly, Darren.
And when I asked Simon, who requested this film, for his thoughts on it, he still loves it. And he loved the fact that it brought back some memories of his youth with the mobile video library and the sweets on the side of it, which, again, it's a great thing, isn't it? When you mention these things to people and they evoke these memories, if you didn't mention them, they wouldn't think of them. And you can have a good conversation with them.
No, I've said this many times before on here that the bit I like is the nostalgic bit that it twigs in your brain, that you remember.
Oh, definitely, because the mobile video library, I'd not even thought of that. And soon as Simon said it, I thought, I can remember the mobile video library.
I bet not just you saying that, I bet our listeners who are listening will go, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that.
It's one of them things that until somebody mentions it, it's gone. And it could be gone forever because you've no reason to think of it. So, thanks, Simon, for reminding me of it. And I do remember the mobile video library, but it never seems to come past my house. Probably because they knew I had to walk the 3 miles in the rain to go and pick a video up and drop it off. And you had those films for a week, because I did ask him, what if they didn't have the film that you wanted? Could you ask for a film? And he says, yeah, you could ask for it. And the video man would say, I'll get it for you next week. So you had something to look forward to, just like the trips down to the video library. You had something at the end of the week that you were waiting for, and somebody was going to deliver it.
Yeah, I remember when we was kids. I remember just down the road from us, there used to be a mobile library. You know, do you remember those?
Yeah, for books. Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be one there. We used to go down, obviously when you was younger, and get a book to look at. But like I say, the mobile videos, I'd kind of forgotten about them. I remember them. I remember them coming round. But like I say, I might have got the odd one off them, but I was always loyal to Christine, so...
Of course.
But, no, it's just, to me, times have really changed, and they'll never come back. That will never come back.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
Because
It's like...
it's
for
not
me,
needed, is it?
No, it's like, for me, sometimes... Someone said it to me the other day, and when you think about it, you don't realise it at the time, but it's the last time you'll do it. Like for me, going into Christine's and renting a video before it shut down, that was the last time I did it. And at the time, you didn't know it was the last time you was going to do that.
No, that's,
You know what I
that's
mean?
absolutely right, because
Like-
you don't know what's around the corner.
You don't like your mates. Someone said it to me, we was talking, the last time we had a little field up from where we lived, and like all the lads where we lived went on the field, and some of the girls and that. And one night, say a Thursday night in 1990, was the last time that we'd ever do that. You know, when you look at it, you don't realise it at the time.
No.
And when you think of things like that, for me, that's what piques my nostalgia, because you think, yeah, that was the last time we did that.
Yeah, I've never thought
Yeah.
of it like that. Never thought about the last times you
Yeah,
ever...
last times you do things, it's like you don't realise it at the time, but until you look back and think, no, we never did that again. That was the last time we did it.
Blimey.
And it's frightening to think about, really, isn't it?
It is. So, overall, I'll be honest with you, it's not my favourite 80s film. I like it, but I don't think it's Tom Cruise's best ever film either. But it is good. I enjoyed it far more now than when I went and watched it back in the 80s. And just a note on my friend and his girlfriend. Well, not long after they split up, which I'm trying not to laugh. Lucky escape for him, I think.
Yeah.
But I do remember thinking all the time while she's mentioning Tom Cruise. She did say a quote when they were playing volleyball. She says, "Oh, I love you, but I fancy him." All right, well, that makes everything all right then. And I'm thinking to my friend, go on, get rid of it. Go on. Let's get our Fridays or Saturday movie nights again. We don't need this rubbish. And then he finally did ditch her. But at that time, it was getting into the kind of late 80s, early 90s. And I'd found going out, drinking downtown, discos, nightclubs. And from then on, like you say, at the end of things, the last things, this was the tail end of movie night.
Yeah.
It was it was drifting away, and you didn't know it. Didn't know it.
That's what I was just touching on. You don't know it at the time. It's like, for me, 6 weeks holidays, or everyone around at my mum and dad's house watching a film, or we were at his friend's house. When you walked out of that house that day, that was the last time you do that. And you don't know that
No.
at the time. It's quite, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's quite, not upsetting, it's quite sad.
It is, yes, melancholy.
Yeah, you're growing up and you want to be older, you want to do things, and then when you get older,
You want to
you
be
want to
younger?
go back. You want to go back. It's a bizarre, it's a bizarre yo-yo we live down.
So, what did you think of it? Kind of seeing it properly for the first time.
I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it. I liked it. I'm like you. I thought the action scenes were good. I thought the story wasn't bad. The acting was good. Yeah, I didn't dislike it. I liked it. I didn't love it, if that makes sense.
That's short and sharp. Bit like me, really.
Yes.
So, with that in mind, Simon, which film shall we be rewatching next time?
Well, Darren, We're going to go back to 1982.
82, right? The very beginning.
82 for this one. Now, I could do 80s rewatch on this actor for the next 5 or 6. This is how much I love this actor that we're going to do.
Very good.
We are going to do, we've spoke about this off air. There's a new film coming out that is I Play Rocky, isn't there?
Yes. Oh,
So,
what a trailer.
Yes, that looks phenomenal. And I think at some point we might have to watch that and do just our thoughts on it on one episode. Not review it, just our thoughts. So with that in mind, that's got us talking about Rocky. So we're going to be doing my favourite, and I think this is your favourite as well, Rocky film. We're going to be doing Rocky 3.
Oh, absolute classic. Absolute.
Yes.
They're all classics. Sylvester Stallone, like you say, he's a god. He's an
I
absolute...
could do 10 films from the 80s with Sylvester Stallone. You could reel them off: Cobra, Tango and Cash, Lock Up, Rambo, Rambo 2, Rambo 3. You could just keep going and going.
Yes.
With this man. So, yes, I like Stallone. I love Stallone. So we are going to be covering Rocky 3.
Brilliant. Well, please, listeners, and Simon, listening out there, thank you for your Top Gun request. And please join us next time where we will be rewatching Rocky 3 on 80s Rewatch.